And we're live. It's the Revved Up 906 podcast, a Detroit Pistons podcast to be exact. And I'm Hudson.
And I'm Ryan.
And for this episode of Revved Up Recaps, we will be talking about this afternoon's bout between the Detroit Pistons and the New York Knicks. That final score was 117 in favor of the New York Knicks to 104 for the Detroit Pistons. Before we get into this game, Ryan, I wanted to give a quick shout out to our Grind Clothing Co., who are our official merch sponsor. So you can find our merch link below in the description or in our YouTube bio. It's going to say Grind times Revved Up. You can go to that link and check out our first merch drop. We will be bringing a second merch drop soon in the new year. We have a trip to Detroit where we will start kind of teasing that new merch, and that'll be coming out to you in the next couple of weeks. So thank you, Ryan, for designing our merch, and we appreciate our partnership with Grind Clothing Co. You can also go to grindclothingco.com. Is that correct, Ryan?
Yep. It's actually
And
a link in the bio too.
it's also linked in the bio, so you can go check out some of the designs he's got on his website and see if it might match with a couple of outfits he got, and go and rep our stuff. So, like I said, today's game against the New York Knicks. What are some of your first takeaways, Ryan?
Amadou Diallo. He did not have what we've expected or have seen from him recently. But
Yeah.
I want to share, I did find this interesting. I have a statistic. Over the last 8 games, Diallo has averaged 13 points, 6 rebounds, 1 steal, while shooting over 70% from the field. And then in his last 4 games, which he's averaged like 26 plus minutes, as a power forward and center, he has averaged 16 points, 7 rebounds, 2 steals, and he's shooting 75% while not even taking a single 3-point shot.
So are you saying maybe get Hamidou at the power forward position?
I mean, maybe because Casey had him there against the Pelicans, and he actually did pretty darn good. Although defensively, we can't do that for a long period of time because he's not big enough to guard like Valanciunas or even Julius Randle today or Mitchell Robinson. So that won't work all the time. But if you need a quick burst of points, throw him in there because you're just gonna beat everybody down the court every time. Because how is Mitchell Robinson or anybody like that gonna step out on Hami? Because they can't.
Right. Yeah, and I don't hate that idea maybe late in the second, heading into halftime or late in the first quarter. I think down the stretch of the game, maybe like the last 7 minutes in the fourth quarter, maybe we don't run with that lineup. But I don't hate kind of going small ball heading into the half, maybe heading into the second quarter. I don't hate that idea at all.
And another takeaway, I'll throw this out there. We lost another big today. Nerlens Noel had some ankle issues. So that's not looking good for us now. Although I will say I'm happy seeing Stu back.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it was really nice to see Stu back. You could tell when he was on the bench that he would be iced up his shoulder. So you can kind of tell that's still an issue for him, kind of babying that shoulder a little bit. But his stat line tonight, if you look at his stat line, it doesn't jump out like he had a big night. But he had 6 points, 9 rebounds, 1 assist, shot 3 for 6 from the field. So, but if you watch tonight's game, you saw him bring out a lot of energy. You could tell he was happy to be back after, I think, like a 3-game stint of not playing.
Yep.
So you could tell his energy was there. I think also he had to have some energy to be able to take on Mitchell Robinson and Julius Randle in the paint. That is not an easy task. So we already typically struggle with Julius Randle, even if with a healthy roster. I'm not surprised he came out and gave us, 42 points and 15 rebounds. I'm not shocked by that. But shout out to Stu for having some good energy, showing that he was going to try to hit the boards. Even 9 is kind of more than he typically even gets. So it was nice to see him just bring out that energy. And if you watch this game, you would have noticed his energy.
Yeah, and he at times you could see that he was in pain. Like he was like, "Oh, this is really painful. I really don't want to be out here, but I want to be out here."
Yeah.
But
it had to be.
Yeah, it had to be. He's probably gonna see what he what happened today more often until he gets 100%. I think we just got to keep easing him in and maybe not have spans where he's playing like 5 minutes, 10 minutes plus on stretches and that before going out. Just ease him in slowly. And then as soon as he's ready to go, have him play a full game like he normally does pretty much. Um, Another takeaway, Jaden Ivey, 21
Yeah.
points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and a block. He played great.
This was the first game you really felt like Killian wasn't checked out, but he just wasn't on. Like he wasn't as active in the game. Today we saw Jaden Ivey kind of take the reins and show that I can run an offense, can be active and do a little bit of everything and slowly etch up the stat sheet throughout the game. So I love that stat line at the end of the night. 6 rebounds, six assists. I love that. That's kind of what Killian was doing his rookie year. And to see him show that he can get 21 points, and now we just want to see that consistency. This New York's roster is very front court heavy. They got Jalen Brunson, Quentin Grimes, McBride. They got a lot of good guards. So it was nice to see him kind of get buckets against a team that is known for good guard play.
Yeah. Besides, Killian did not have a wow game, but he did what was needed to be done in order to have a comeback. Like there was the one towards the end of the game there where he was going for the ball on Randall, which honestly it looked like a foul from him, but they didn't call it that way. They called it a foul on Randall and we got the ball back. But just like situations like that in general, you saw Killian just going after it. His stats don't show him going after it, but he actually did. And that's what I appreciate because he's not a big stats guy. He's more of like I'm going to work my tail off and it doesn't matter what the stats are at the end of the day, but it does matter what the stats are at the end of the day because a lot of people care what the stats are. But no, he had a great game, even though he only had 9 points and 9 assists and 2 steals, 2 rebounds. But that stat line shows you that he was everywhere tonight. Even if his shooting wasn't there, he was doing everything.
Yeah, and so if we want to talk some statistics, Saddiq Bey was with his third 20-plus consecutive games in a row. So we're starting to kind of see him get involved and find consistency, and especially going up against RJ Barrett tonight.
Yeah,
kind of kept RJ around 13 points. I know he's not a big time scorer, but that's a tough task handling a guy like RJ Barrett, and to show when he has a matchup like that, he can beat and play better than RJ with 21 points and 6 rebounds, 1 assist, shot around 50% and 50% from the 3-point line. So Saddiq starting, he can be streaky at times, but he's starting to show that he can step up when we struggle with injuries, and that's great to see.
Yeah,
Kevin Knox. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say around this time last year, Saddiq was starting to get into the groove too. So it may just be this type of this timeline each year where he finally gets in that groove again.
Yeah. It was nice to see Kevin Knox have a good game against his former team, 16 points. 5 of 6 shooting and 3 for 4 from the 3-point line. I know that's been something we've been waiting for, is another double-digit scoring night. I'm sure you were happy to see that.
Oh yeah, 16 points in only 19 minutes. Very productive. If this is him showcasing to Casey and Weaver and everybody, give me a chance. I'm gonna work my tail off. Give me a chance. And he keeps proving it when he gets minutes. He keeps proving it. Even if it may not be a big whopping 19 points or 16 points, it could be 2 points, but he's still working his tail off. And that's what I appreciate. And that's why he is seeing these minutes and given these opportunities. And he just needs to keep going on and doing his thing.
Keep trucking along. If someone asked me, well, Hudson, why did the Pistons struggle so much against the Knicks tonight? And my first point would be, well, we were missing some centers, right? Marvin Bagley, Jalen Duren, Nerlens Noel. But another big thing tonight was just dumb fouls and too many fouls. The Knicks, I can't express enough how good they are at getting fouls. Randall and Brunson are so savvy, and Brunson took 3 charges today. So that might be something Casey wants to address with the Pistons tonight and tomorrow heading into the new week is, hey, let's slow down. Let's not let these dumb charges get in the way. We saw Kevin Knox get exposed by Brunson on a 3-point line, which inevitably led to 3 free throws that Kevin Knox fouled him. So it was just stuff like that just we would get some momentum and then there'd be a dumb foul, a 3-point play or stuff like that. And the Knicks just really took advantage of our young team and not knowing when to, all right, let's slow down and not rack up some fouls.
Yeah. And alongside of fouls, our trouble today was shooting. We were terrible for shooting the ball. Like in the first, going into halftime, we were like 37%. That's not good. So I think to your point of slowing down on the fouls, we need to also slow down on our game from time to time and take the good shot. Don't just force it up like we have been. Because, like, yeah, Ivy in this situation, he's going to take a lot of shots no matter what because that's who he is. But if he can find a way to be productive with the shots he takes, then it'll be much beneficial, more beneficial for our team. And not only that, but you have all these young guys like Stu, even though he only shot 6 shots, he was still productive. He was still efficient. But that's an example. Like Bay and guys like that, yeah, of course they're going to shoot 14 shots and only make 6 because they're shooters, they shoot. It doesn't matter if it falls all the time. They have the green light. They're going to take the shot. But when you have Ivy, just if he slows down and just bees himself, I think he's perfectly fine. But if he's just trying to do a little too much and take control, then you're going to see the weird shots. And that's going to lead to fouls too. So I think we need to slow it down a little bit.
Yeah. Shout out the Pistons tonight, only getting 11 turnovers. That's pretty solid for them. I mean, that's below their average. Their average is around 13, 14. So it was nice to kind of see them kind of slow it down. They would go through spurts of like two turnovers in a row, a turnover, and then at the following possession, a turnover. So they would kind of go through those spurts, but the Knicks only was 6 tonight. So that was very effective. And that can also kind of be a determination of how well they played tonight.
Yep.
Before we wrap up today's Revved Up recap for the Knicks versus the Pistons, any last takeaways from you, Ryan?
Isaiah Livers is perfectly fine, people. Don't worry about him. He had 11 points. We're chilling.
Yep. 4-9 shooting, 3 for 8 from 3, but still he's a scorer, so he's going to put up some extra shots. 39 minutes. Wow. Yeah. He almost played the whole game. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, Livers, he's the kind of guy where I think he might even be a little bit more consistent than a Bay if we see him stay healthy. I think he's a guy that can just come out and get points every night, a little bit more productive than a Sadiq. Yep. But Livers, it was nice to see him get starter minutes. And we'll maybe see if he kind of gets that in a couple consecutive games and see if he starts trucking along. If he does have another starter night in the next couple weeks, I can maybe suspect him having a big game.
Yep.
Just the way he was kind of getting his wits together today against the Knicks, I can maybe see him coming out and get some big buckets this next week.
Yeah, and
hopefully I'm right.
Watch out for Killian in the next game. They're playing in France.
Right. So is that the 19th they play?
Yep.
Okay, so they don't play for 4 days?
Yep.
Wow. Revved Up recaps. We're going to slow down for a couple days. If you guys haven't subscribed on YouTube yet, make sure to subscribe. Turn on your notification button. Follow us on TikTok. Please follow us on TikTok. And you can catch us on Instagram at revved.up906. We're constantly posting podcast clips, sometimes if the highlights really fire, we'll post a highlight. We will be posting debate topics, over under posts, and we will be commenting back to you if you comment. So make sure to go leave a comment on all our Instagram posts to interact with us. And don't forget our merch link in the bio and the description. We will see you guys in the next Revved Up video. Peace.